there's been a lot of talk about portals and stargates and things. Maybe they're not stargates, maybe they're sea gates.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a massive concept.
Well, it is,
Um,
but I mean,
yeah,
the sea people,
the
where
sea
they turn up
people,
from, and the Phoenicians,
the
they
Phoenicians,
they
yeah.
don't really, they can't really
No,
explain where they came from.
no, no one explains it. They just say they turned up
Just turned up.
and became they became the great like marine
Yeah,
culture,
and traders, and then basically,
merchants of the coastline.
yeah, and then they introduced governments and religions. It's interesting that traders is very close to traitors, isn't
I
it?
mean, I mean, it's just something to add to the weird world update, but our oceans are something, and there's a lot of ignorance around our oceans, and we really have very little education on it. They don't talk about it at school. You don't hear about the oceans ever. We don't explore it. We can't travel in it. It's basically illegal to go anywhere in it. We have no rights on the ocean. We don't know what goes on in the oceans. Traveling on an aeroplane is pretty much the only time anyone really sees the ocean, if that's what we're seeing. Because according to the last week's show, Campbell, that could just be one giant lake-like thing that the continents are surrounding and they all join, and our whole airplane travel is like a charade, a pantomime. Potentially, I know you've always thought, oh, I've always sat there and imagined that they're showing a movie on the windows, that
Yeah.
we're not actually traveling very far. They're just showing a movie. But
Hmm.
like I don't know. The oceans are definitely an undiscovered, undisclosed, and really probably where the true war is happening, I would say. If our attention's all on the land, look somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, right? The old magician's trick. Definitely, yeah. We just don't know. It's just a big unknown, right? But
It
I'm
is a big
just
unknown.
getting
Yep.
this image because we've got a friend who showed us um, something interesting to do with all of this and land and what's going on. And I'll just open these up. 1 minute.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are we watching about the oceans at the moment? The most dominant thing is the very weird storms that are happening and the plasma and the lightning and those big water twisters that are appearing in the oceans all around the world and pulling up shitloads of water. And then we're seeing these massive dumps of torrential water going across places that have never, ever had floods, and they're all flooding. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, for sure. So where am I? Do that. Oh gosh, now I've lost. Where's Zoom? There it is. Okay. Yes, yeah, our friend Cassie showed us this.
Oh, yeah, this was interesting.
It's just something interesting. So this is Africa, so it's not the best resolution, but if you look at this little bit here, if we turn this around, and you can see this, right? This kind of shape.
Yep.
And then if you
Looks
look at
like,
Australia, yeah, I don't know. What do you reckon?
yeah, I mean, it looks like Australia. Definitely. You can see
Kind of
Australia in that.
it's like that, right?
And even New Zealand.
Yeah, even yeah, like that's got Madagascar off the coast, right? And we've got New Zealand. So I don't know, just an interesting tidbit because
That
this
is
kind of
interesting.
conversation all started with that video, the people who walked from India, right? But I think we've all just started to ask the question, what do we really know? It's another thing we've taken for granted. We've sort of like been down the what's the shape of it, but we really haven't got into the conversation of, well, are the continents real? Like,
That's right.
is the layout real? Has that got anything to do with reality? Because when we look at old maps, it's not the same layout as now.
Yep.
There's
Well, why would it? Why would it have anything to do with reality? They've gone to so much lengths to
not.
confuse us
Mm,
about the shape of everything and the space of everything. Anything to do with space and dimension, they've fucking done their biggest, best work on confusing and deceiving. So
mm,
why would the continents look like the maps? How the hell
just
would we know?
Mm.
We can't see Australia. Like, how would we know? How would we know, Campbell? How can you go that far to even know?
We can't. And
No,
this is the thing, like we're not in
fucking
charge
edge.
of any of the information or the proper cartography, or we can't get into satellites and look down. They're definitely not giving us live feeds or anything like that. So yeah, it's an edge. It's
It's
an
an
edge,
edge.
man.
They gave us Google Maps, Google Earth, which is basically just a computer generated program with photographs. They gave us this thing that made everyone think we could see everything, but in actual fact, we saw less than ever. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
And it's not even photographs anymore. It's just straight up animation. And we know, like, as soon as something interesting's found, they just blot it out and you can't see it anymore.
So much effort
So
on
much
this
effort.
one topic, this
Mm,
one fucking topic, the shape of our realm. What is our realm? There has just been unbelievable amount of effort and energy to keep us away from knowing it.
mm, so
It's
much.
whew.
And we're trapped in a circle, right? We can't go north or south. We can just go
Mm.
round and round,
Hmm.
right? Be the
So I
revolution.
mean, you've got to, that all of that just lends to validating the idea that we are in like we have an ice wall around us and that there is a whole realms past that ice realm and we are like in a fish tank in the middle of it. Like there's so like it's so validated when you look, not because we know that to be true, but because if you look at the evidence of what they've done so far, it would like basically validate the fact that, exactly what they have told us the opposite would be true. So
Wow.
it's weird
I mean, what's
consciousness to
out
get to this
there?
point.
If space is water, doesn't that mean outside, is the dome there to separate us from the waters? It says it in the Bible, right? Sorry, didn't mean to mention that word, Kelly. Um, but what does that mean? Does that
Are you
mean
Bible bashing me, Cal?
are we under the ocean of the bigger plane? Like, are we Atlantis? Like, is there aliens
Exactly.
out there, but we sank under
Yeah.
the water. Now we have a dome, and so people can
Hmm.
out there can jump in their ocean and sort of come down and like Aquaman style, right? From the 70s cartoon where he swam down and went in the dome.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you reckon?
I mean, really, anything is possible at this point. I mean, there's a big mission ahead not to let us know this, but here we are in this weird moment in human reconciliation, I guess, of us like starting to. I mean, we are so in the Truman Show more than ever right now, because from this perspective, we know something is very, very wrong. We know that everything we've been told is very, very not true, but we don't know what the truth is.
No,
We don't know what that next understanding is. And I don't know how that's going to come to pass. I'm not sure. I guess if an alien mothership comes up out of our oceans and wreaks havoc and all the Abrahamic religions suddenly like spontaneously become the one world religion that they actually are. And, and everyone's hating on Islam right now. And the Americans, they've done so much. Trump's been a dick, man. Like, I mean, all by design, of course, because like he's basically, I mean, you can't get more of they've been so outwardly obvious about their support of Judaism and Israel. And it's crazy. Like right now, today, there's 250
yeah,
delegates
yeah,
from America, all the
yeah,
American states and senates in Israel right now,
yeah.
fucking with kissing
50
that fucking
states,
wall.
one Israel. What is it? Oh, is that what it's
What?
called? One Israel, 50 states. They're trying to, yeah, get rid of the laws where so you can't speak against Israel or hold rallies or demonstrations or anything. Um, it's crazy, and the whole, Mr. Kirk thing's all very getting tied up in the whole Jewish debate, and that whole conversation, and that's why I just said the word Jew, right? It's now out in the open. Like there's videos everywhere suddenly, like people, yeah, saying their true feelings about it. So
I mean, magma is Jewish.
magma or MAGA?
MAGA is
MAGA,
Jewish.
yeah, yeah, it is.
Fuck yeah. All the spokespeople
Yeah,
for the MAGA campaigns, they're Jewish.
yeah,
Like Candace Owen. And Ben Shapiro. Is that his last name?
Shapiro, yeah,
Shapiro? Shapiro.
Shapiro.
Jewish, Jewish, Jewish.
Well, he
You
wears
know?
his small hat all the time, his
Yep.
yarmulke.
So the fact that they talk on behalf of Christianity is so fucking perfect
Well,
because it's all one religion already.
this and this, but this is also the big deception to Christians is they've linked the Old Testament to like these two books have nothing to do with each other at all, right? But they've linked them together. So people who believe in Jesus somehow they think, oh, the Old Testament prophesied him or something, and that's Jewish. So the Jewish are like us; they're good. But then if you read the Bible, it says like straight out, it says something like, "Do not trust the Jewish, do not trust them," and um. And then, like Jesus calls the Jewish rabbis the den of vipers, and it's actually in there, but
Yeah.
they've joined it together. But
And they crucified him, did they not? Was it not the Jews that killed
exactly,
Jesus?
they actually
Not that
did
I
that.
care.
So
I don't care
no,
because it's
no,
all fucking bullshit.
and it's all been extremely, changed and reinterpreted and all this kind of stuff, Council of Nicaea and all that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, but for the people who are believers, how do they miss that? They literally put him on the cross.
So
It's
basically, if you're a
crazy.
Christian in this world, you might as well move to Israel right now. Go and be with your people because that's where they are. Your faith in this religion is going to basically build the third temple, which is going to like set up this whole chain of
Mm,
engineered omens. Like it's perfectly well timed. You're adding to that. There's no one who believes in Jesus who is not adding to the demise of humanity under the guise of this one world religion, which has always been one world religion and the birthplace and the house of the parasite.
mm.
Just so you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everyone says it's an inverted world, but it's kind of a inside out, really, isn't it? It's all stories that just make that create division, and this is what's happening right now with all these protests, you know, anti-immigration, and basically Christian against Islam is the biggest one it is, right? It's creating division. Then there's the whole division around Israel and all this stuff, and everyone thinks they've got the true God, but the main thing is God's inside you, and they've inverted it outside. No, God's outside you, and oh, guess what? We've got His book. We can interpret. We'll let you know what He's saying to you. Just trust us, right? Just like you trust us with your children, that kind of trust, right? Um, I mean, it's just such propaganda. So yeah, I don't know, guys. If Jesus is coming to save you, then what if He doesn't? What if it's all a
I mean,
scam?
also,
What
a
if the
question
message
is,
is He's inside you and you need to find that and connect with that, which is really the God inside you, right? The
but
Christ, Christ's
what if
mind.
Jesus does come and save you and you end up as slaves on in a dome in fucking God knows where and
Yeah.
generationally wiped out? Like follow
Well,
a parasite to your end demise, my friends. Basically, why
but
would you do that to yourself?
we've all heard these stories of, going to the light and, the soul trap and all this kind of stuff, when you pass, going to the light. And many people saying, don't go to the light. I mean, what is Jesus? He's the light and the way. And by the way, when I
It's
say
so
that, what
funny.
what is Lucifer? The light bearer. One's the light and the way, one's the light bearer. I mean,
One is
just
Elvis and one is
saying,
Trump.
guys, interpret this stuff for yourself. Think. Don't listen to the man in the dress or the dude who's worth
I
$10
mean,
million.
I like the
Fittest flat earther.
fittest flat
The
earther.
flattest fit
I
earther, I
mean,
think's
he's
better.
completely Christian, whatever. I'll put
He's a
that
bit of a dick
aside.
sometimes, but yeah.
I don't think he's a
He
dick. I
has.
haven't found him. I think he's very smart and he's very detailed. And what he presents to me is, I mean, I accept it. My mind, yeah, Trump is Elvis and Elvis is Lucifer. I can work with that chain of thought process. I don't believe in the biblical side of it, but I think he's got credibility
That's
there. And
yeah, it's
it's
just,
also fucking fun.
yeah,
Why
yeah.
not?
I mean, he's got some interesting stuff. Some I'm like, well, you're a little bit arrogant that
Really? Which
time.
one have you said no to?
Oh, there's a few that it just looks like it's the haircut and stuff. I mean, maybe it wasn't his, but I've seen a lot of the clone stuff. I mean, I know he goes into the moles and the slidey bit. Um, but I mean, it's an interesting question. What does it all mean? Like, what are we
Words
talking here?
with
Like, are we
meaning.
talking people that are playing multiple characters? Are we talking clones? Are we talking that it's just because it's closed bloodlines and they're just producing the same looking people? Are they
Mm,
vampires? Do they live forever? Like all the doppelgangers?
mm,
And
like
this is another big
vampires.
question, right? About who these ones who have, ended up in control. Who are they? What are they?
Mm.
And that's why we call them the parasites, right? The ones that came in, you can call them whatever you want, right? The fallen ones, the ones from the sky, the Anunnaki, the devils, or whatever. But they're not us, right? Clearly, they're not us.
Yeah, yeah, so true. I mean, I think that, yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, they can just go on about this topic forever,
It's
like it's just such a,
but
I
we're
mean,
lucky, right? We get to see the finale. That's why we're down here.
whatever that is going to be, like for fuck's sake. But fascinating. And here we all are, awake to it and watching it from a whole other perspective, definitely. And of course, no credence in anything that's going on out there in the vision land, in anything that you're seeing anywhere, ever, 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 unless you're in it. I wouldn't worry about it
Mm.
because, like, who knows what's real? Who knows what isn't real? Who knows?
Who knows?
But
And that's anxiety, right? Worrying about the future and things you can't change. That's anxiety. And, like Kelly said, if it doesn't affect you personally, it's none of your business, right? It's just fear porn. So either turn it off and don't watch it or watch it with the mindset of, well, it's just a movie. I don't know if this is real. Don't judge it as, oh my God, that's horrible or that's amazing. Because, so often we see these things or we have these experiences and we're like, that was so cool. And it turns out to be something really shit, right? Or we have something that's really shit. We're like, oh, that's crap. And it turns out to be one of the best things ever. So we just don't know, guys.
I wonder how many Christians are going to not be, who are going to drop their religion when they watch the three religions become one. I wonder how that shift will affect everyone's faith and religion when they watch Judaism and Muslim, which because right now all these immigration shit that's going on, it's basically Islamic, it's Muslim, Muslim immigrants coming and raping and violence and all paid for and supported by the governments to do this. They're doing a job. They're paid actors basically, and they're doing it, and they're doing it to the worst possible degree. I mean, the amount of rapes of children and young women has skyrocketed so exponentially at the hands of these black angry immigrants who are being paid to be there to do exactly that. um, I'll be very interested to see when that those three religions become one religion under the third temple, how many people are going to fucking wake up from this idea of being part of a good religion? They're going to
Mm.
become one religion because they always were one religion.
They're the
And
Abrahamic
that's going to,
religion.
yes,
They just don't
yes,
realize it.
yes.
And they're already,
Hmm.
remember that guy who came out a few months ago and everyone was saying he's the Antichrist or he's professing to be
Yep.
Jesus. What he was very much trying to marry Christianity and Islam, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, that's
But
what it is. They
that's what
are
it
they
is.
are one thing, have always been one thing. So there you're going to have a whole heap of patriot Christians fighting against Muslim immigrants with the same fucking God and religion. Just so you guys all know that. I mean, I know you guys all know that, but I just get to say it here. I get to
Mm.
say it here, you know? It'll be very
Yes.
interesting. All my besties have become Christian on the last couple of years. How are you going to reconcile that fact when you are becoming part of a one world religion?
Mm. It'll be an interesting one, and that's probably the way they'll take it. They'll go, oh, look, we all start at the same place. It's all actually the same God. It's all actually the same story. Can't we just be friends? Come to our new temple where the Ark of the Covenant just happens to sit.
Hmm.
Just sacrifice our red heifer
Hmm.
and all this stuff's going on.
And 200 virgins.
Oh, the 200, yeah, right.
That'll
That's for
happen.
the Muslims, wasn't it? When they, pass, they get 200 virgins and
Hmm.
the Jewish get, what is it, 2,000 slaves or something. Don't know what the Christians get. You got ripped off, guys. Um,
Yeah. You get
they,
hell. You
they,
get one lifetime in
you get
hell.
to watch your
So
friends burn in hell. You're
yeah,
like,
that's
I was
right.
right, and now you're
Yep,
burning.
they're all fucked. Yep. So I mean, interestingly, I mean, it's going to play out really. I mean, I mean, wouldn't it be marvelous if like this craft came up from the oceans except everyone thought it's coming down from space. And out becomes a projection of this weird looking is Muslim Jesus.
Muslim
And he comes
Jesus.
out, right? And he's sort
Bit of
of got
Yakuba on.
as yeah, but he's got but blue eyes. He's got the
Yeah.
aspects of all cultures in him. He's projected out and he declares the truth, that like this has always been one. What do you think will happen with the world at that point? Because all the immigrants and all the patriots and all the nationalists, they're all going to have to unite at that point under their one God. And so who are they fighting after that? Are they fighting us? Are they who are they? What's the plan after that? Who are they? Where's the war going to
Wow.
come from? You know what I mean?
15-minute cities, man, and everyone shut up and do what you're told. Be a good passive
Because
slave. I
we're not going to
mean,
fight a war. I'm not fighting a fucking war. Fuck that. I'm not fighting a war.
no, I'm not fighting a war.
No
No.
one in our communities, we're camping.
Mm.
We're
Yeah, yeah.
fishing.
Yeah, we're
Well, we're
using our
not
arms
fishing.
for practical things like building stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we
yeah.
we we we're not fighting any wars. No
No.
way.
And this is what they're pushing, but it's good because most of the protests have been pretty peaceful. And they're clearly trying to push, to get violence started. Like they just
Oh,
keep doing it and keep doing it. But people don't seem to be biting now because I think we're getting close. A lot of the population understand it's a scam and it's the government that are doing it and it's the government that needs to
mhm.
topple. But of course, a lot of people think that means they still think we need a new prime minister, we need a new president, not understanding what's going on. But
I
I
just
I think
burped
we're
right
getting
over the
close,
top of you
man.
saying
I
that.
think we're getting close. I think that the energy's rising, right?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know about out there. I don't know if the energy's rising out there. It's definitely
Well,
been
does
experienced
that
within
matter?
within
That's
our
really,
community. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know
that's
what's going on. I
none
mean,
of our
as far
business.
as like all the immigrants they've placed strategically around the world, they're paid for.
Oh,
The
for sure.
government gives them a wage, the
Yes.
government gives them accommodation,
Yep.
provides food, shelter, and an income. They are paid to
Yep.
do what they're going to do. The government will release them into these protests at some point to be as violent as possible. Like, it's not going to be peaceful. Like, that's not going to stay like that. This is like starting to get the energy building up, you know? But yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, do you
Ultimately, it's all a scam, and just protesting falls under asking or demanding, and that's victim tyrant. That's very low spelling ability, right?
I mean, we might try to help them by gathering 100,000 of us and just, sending out compassion. We might try to
Love,
help them
love.
that way if we feel so attuned to it. Or we might decide collectively, 100,000 of us, to just give every person who's committing violence against children and pedophilia a heart attack in the middle of the night. Like we might figure out the penis plague and just get rid of all the predatory penises in the world. I mean, our imagination is the key to our success. We definitely don't need to fight a war in any capacity, but we can do some pretty gnarly shit when we get together and understand our power. So, of course, that's what they hate. That's why we need
Mm,
private land. And this is why we need the investment group, Campbell, because the only way we're going to do it as a community is to purchase that land and have it there for
mm,
this very purpose when we want to go camping, and also changing the world
mm,
just through our excellent collective God mind consciousnesses coming together.
mm. Yeah, it's totally, and that's all we need to focus on is changing our world, right? As we do, people on our level will, right, come together and then the bad shit will just disappear as our frequency goes up, and our band, the crap drops away and the good comes in. So yeah, I think I think a big part of that is getting away from or definitely not relying on the 2D world and not buying into its crap because that's just all the fear and
And
we know
poison
it's all owned. You can check it out
by
by
the one
Jews,
world religion,
by the one world
all
religion, all
owned
of it.
by Jesus,
Yeah.
basically, or Abraham, whoever you want to fucking put in
Abraham.
there.
Yep, yep. And the small hats are the top five positions in BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard. All small hats. So, you know, it's a control system. So, and it's a religious control system. Clearly,
Mhm.
very,
Clearly,
clearly. Like all the
clearly,
people at the top of the pyramid
yes.
are all the same religion.